Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the My Greek Island podcast. It's Maria in the intro, and that can only mean one thing, that George will be giving us a bit of a history lesson. Today, we are heading to the stunning island of Rhodes, or Rhodos as we say in Greek, and we're heading there to explore one of the most iconic ancient sites on the island called the Acropolis of Lindos. Now, if you're not aware, Rhodes is one of our top destinations for 2025, our top islands, and this is one of the add-on mini episodes that we promised you. So if you've not heard our dedicated episodes on Rhodes yet, this is probably a good time to press the pause button, head back and listen to that specific dedicated episode. But before we get into it, if you're not following us on social media, then head over to TikTok, Instagram, and press that follow button on the handle at My Greek Island so you can keep up to date with all of our adventures. And if you'd like to support the show, then share, like, subscribe, drop a rating or a review, share with everyone you know. It definitely does help us keep coming back with more content. And if you want to support the show further, and for that you will have our eternal gratitude, then you can sign up to our Patreon, where you can access ad-free episodes and exclusive content. Right, I think it's time to sit back and let's head over to George to travel you to Lindos, starting with a bit of historical background.
The Acropolis of Lindos is perched on a cliff that dramatically rises above the sea, offering panoramic views that are truly mesmerizing and unforgettable. It's a must if you are visiting Rhodes. Lindos itself dates back to the 10th century BC and was founded by the Dorians. By the 6th century, it had become a major trading hub thanks to its strategic position between Greece and the east. It was during this time that Lindos' most famous landmark was built, the Temple of Athena, a place of worship and a symbol of the city's power and prosperity, dedicated to the patron goddess of Lindos. The temple was built under the rule of Cleovulos, one of the 7 sages of Greece. Now, according to myth, the tyrant Cleovulos was punished by being turned into a rock for disrespecting Athena, which can be found at the entrance to the Acropolis. And believe it or not, this myth still remains alive until this day. The Acropolis bears the marks of many civilizations, reflecting the various historical periods it has witnessed, including the Romans, the Byzantines, Knights of St. John, and Ottomans. A small church with a pronaos and a sacrificial chamber also stands there. The medieval castle built by the Knights of St. John still has 2 well-preserved towers. Nearby are also the remains of an ancient theatre which at the time used to host around 1,800 spectators. Excavations actually begun in the early 20th century, with initial efforts being done by the Italian occupiers, which unfortunately caused some damage. Since 1948, restoration work has continued under the Greek Ministry of Culture, and today the site is accessible only by foot or by donkey, preserving its ancient charm.
Now, you might be wondering what makes it so special. Greece is full of ancient sites, and one of the reasons the country attracts so many visitors every year. So what is it that sets the Acropolis of Lindos apart from other ancient sites in Greece?
First, the location. It's not just a ruin sitting on a field, it's a dramatic cliffside monument sitting over 100 metres above sea level, with the Aegean blue sea wrapping around it as if it's out of a postcard. And you will see many postcards with the Acropolis of Lindos on them in Rhodes, but if you were to get a postcard from Greece. Also, you will see it as you arrive into Lindos, as it is a very prominent landmark. Secondly, the village of Lindos itself. It's a whitewashed labyrinth of alleys, traditional houses, bougainvillea draped doorways, and rooftop cafes. The rooftop cafes cannot be missed, by the way. Cars are banned inside the village, so everything feels slower, quieter, almost timeless. Although if you're in peak season, it will get busy with tourists on those streets. We will come to the car bit a bit shortly if you're thinking of driving to Lindos.
Right, now for the part that many of you have probably been waiting for, our top travel tips for visiting Lindos and its Acropolis, especially during the summer. We've been there, we've done it, so you can benefit from all of our tips. However, did George actually visit this site, or are these my tips?
So, full disclaimer here, I was having a bit of a slower holiday when we visited Lindos. So, Maria and her friends went up to the Acropolis of Lindos while I was enjoying the view / having a siesta from the beach and enjoying the view of Lindos beach, but also from below the Acropolis of Lindos. So, yeah. Nevertheless, here are the tips that I have gathered with Maria's help. Are you planning a trip to Greece and feeling completely overwhelmed by all those options? Well, we've got you covered. Why not book a personalised travel consultation with our very own Greek island guru, Maria, designed to make planning simple, efficient, and completely tailored to you. You can choose from 3 tiers. Whether you just want, to pick her brains, need a high-level plan to build your very own trip, or want a fully customized travel itinerary, there's an option to suit your style and budget. And in true Maria style, she has thought of everything, so you can also add follow-up support by email, or even book a second call if you need help finalizing those finer details for your trip to Greece. Now to book, head over to the website www.mygreekis.land/book to see the options and get started with your travel consultation with Maria. That is www.mygreekis.land/book. There are 227 inhabited Greek islands. Which one will you visit next? Number 1. Beat the heat. The Acropolis gets hot in July and August. We're talking 35 plus by midday. So aim to visit early, ideally by 9 o'clock, or later in the afternoon around 5 p.m. for cooler temperatures. Note there is limited parking in Lindos, so aiming to get there earlier might help you with parking. Wear appropriate footwear. The climb involves some steep stone steps and some uneven surfaces. Flip-flops are a big no-no, and you will see people going up in flip-flops and they're probably regretting that choice of footwear. So we recommend comfortable walking shoes, trainers, or sturdy sandals are your best bet. Bring water. There is not much shade or facilities once you're on the site, and while there are vendors leading up to the Acropolis of Lindos, they will get more expensive the closer you get. So we advise you have water with you. Now please avoid the donkey ride, and we recommend we skip the donkey ride. You might see people offering donkey rides up to the Acropolis. The walk typically takes 10, 15, 20 minutes and is quite manageable, according to Maria and her friends. It is something we tend to avoid due to the welfare concerns of the animals. We will leave the website details of the Acropolis of Lindos in the show notes so you can check the ticket prices, any other information, opening hours. But before we wrap up, we'd like to remind you that one of our top tips that we actually shared on the Rhodes episode about Lindos, and that's considering staying there at least one night and not just visiting it for the day. Once the day trippers, and as I said, it can get quite busy with day trippers in the parking situation, but once they leave, the village almost transforms. It becomes much more peaceful, it becomes candlelit, and it is quite a magical feel to it. So we talked about those rooftop cafes. You can have restaurants on the rooftops, and we actually decided to stay there for one night, and we kind of thought we could have benefited from staying a bit longer. And also classic Maria, she was up at the crack of dawn while I was sleeping. There was a bit of a theme on that holiday. She was up at the crack of dawn exploring the streets and getting some very nice footage really early doors and meeting some locals. Now, by staying, you don't have to worry about getting there early, looking for a parking spot, and you can also enjoy the beaches like St. Paul's Bay, which is just a short walk down the hill from the Acropolis of Lindos. Crystal clear water is perfect for a swim or even actually snorkeling, or Lindos Beach, where I had that siesta. It's great for small kids and also offers some amenities and sunbeds.
Now, this kind of comes to the end of this short and sweet episode about the Acropolis of Lindos. So whether you're a history buff, a photography lover, or simply just someone who appreciates a view that will take your breath away, then the Acropolis of Lindos in Rhodes is a must visit. So when you visit Rhodes, don't just hit the beach and have a siesta like George. Climb up the hill like me and take in those views and lose yourself in the layers of time. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with someone that you think will enjoy, or with someone who's heading to Rhodes so they can, have a bit of that insider info, understand a bit of the history, but also get those My Greek Island tips. So once again, thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed this short and sweet episode, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Until then, yassas.
Right, my Greek Islanders. This comes to the end of another episode of this podcast.
Now you know the drill. If you like this episode, share it to share the love with the My Greek Island community, where everyone is welcome. And
don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, and all that jazz. And maybe give us a little rating from wherever you're listening to us from, so you are notified every time a new episode drops. And if you have any suggestions or requests, get in touch.
And for those of you visiting Greece, don't forget to tag @MyGreekIsland on Instagram for a future feature. Until then, see you later, or as they say in Greek,
Ta leme.